In the heart of the city, a notorious thief named Jack had been eluding the police for years. His daring heists had earned him the reputation of being the most skilled and elusive criminal in the city. The police had been hot on his trail for months, but every time they thought they had him, he managed to slip through their fingers. Detective Sarah, a seasoned cop, was tasked with bringing Jack to justice. She had studied his every move and was determined to catch him. She knew that it was only a matter of time before Jack made a mistake, and she was ready to pounce. One night, Jack made his boldest move yet, breaking into the city's largest museum to steal a priceless diamond. The police were tipped off and raced to the scene, but by the time they arrived, Jack had already made his escape. The only clue was a single red rose left at the scene of the crime, Jack's signature calling card. Detective Sarah was relentless in her pursuit of Jack. She combed the city for any sign of him, but he seemed to have vanished into thin air. Then, she received a mysterious package in the mail, containing a cryptic note from Jack and a map. The note read, "If you want the diamond, come and get it." Determined to solve the case, Sarah followed the map and found herself at an old abandoned warehouse. As she entered the dark, creepy building, she heard the sound of footsteps echoing through the halls. Suddenly, she was ambushed by Jack and his gang of thieves. They tied her up and locked her in a room, leaving her with a warning, "Don't try to escape. The game is just beginning." Sarah struggled against her bonds, but they were too tight. She was trapped, and the clock was ticking. She had to find a way out before Jack and his gang returned. As she searched the room for anything that could help her escape, she noticed a small, shiny object on the ground. It was a hairpin, just like the one she always wore in her hair. Realizing that someone was helping her, Sarah began to work on her bindings with the hairpin. She managed to free herself just as Jack and his gang returned. She was outnumbered, but she was not about to give up. She fought back, taking down Jack's henchmen one by one. In the end, she faced Jack in a tense standoff, her gun aimed at his heart. "You'll never take me alive," Jack sneered. "I don't want to take you alive," Sarah replied, her voice steady. "I just want the diamond." Suddenly, the warehouse doors burst open, and the police swarmed in, guns drawn. Jack was surrounded, with no way out. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the diamond, holding it up in surrender. "The game is over," he said, with a smile. Detective Sarah took the diamond, and Jack was taken into custody. She had finally caught the thief who had eluded her for so long. But as she looked into his eyes, she realized that the game was far from over. Jack had one more surprise up his sleeve, a final twist that would leave Sarah stunned. "I've always been one step ahead of you, Detective," Jack said, with a smirk. "I've been playing you from the start." And with that, the screen goes black, leaving the audience wondering what Jack's final surprise could have been. The end.